All right, folks, welcome back to Colorado Chaos 2025, game number 3 today. We are almost done. We got one more game after this. My name is Chai Kilski, joining you once again. Denver Roller Derby Minor Turbulence versus Wasatch Junior Rollers BSalty. So this is the B team of both of these leagues. Let's go ahead and run down those rosters. Skating for Denver in blue. 08 Penny Lane, 1-3 Beholder, 2-4 Spider Slam, 3-1 Trick or Treat, 3-1-3 Black Diamond, 3-3 Full Tilt, 3-6-5 Phoenix, 4-6-2 Barracuda, 4-7 Tricks, 5-5 Axel Rolls, 6-2-6 Stitch, 6-6 Poison Emi, 6-6-6 Waffles, 7-3 Starface, and 7-7 Autumn. Skating for Wasatch in white, 0-2-4 Zen, 1-0-1 Bad Cop, 1-1 Fast Phantom, 1-1-1-1 Malice in Wonderland, 1-4-2 Mockingbird, 2 Echo, 2-3-1-9 Roller Reina, 3-4-5 Sleepy Pumpkin, 5 Quiet Killer, 7-7-7 Snarky Sharky, 7-8-9 Stormy C, 8-1-3 Mullet, 8-4 Chemical X, and 9-1-9 Feelin' Feisty. We've got just about 2 minutes to go. In the previous game, we did see the Rockin' City Rockstars take the win over Mob City Misfits. And we will see Rockin' City Rockstars play once again, this time against Major Turbulence, who also played this morning against Wasatch. So both of these teams playing the last game of the day have won their games. And now we will see these B teams duke it out. Mob City all the way from Everett, Washington, Rockin' City from Round Rock, Texas, and of course Wasatch from Salt Lake City, Utah. And Denver Roller Derby Juniors, obviously, in the hometown of Denver, Colorado. Big thanks to all of our medics, officials, volunteers, camera operators, announcers. Thank you to everyone who could make this tournament possible. This is the second Colorado Chaos Denver Roller Derby has hosted with the Denver Roller Derby Juniors. You'll next see the Denver Juniors. They'll go to the JRDA playoffs in Rome, Georgia. And then hopefully we'll be playing again at JRDA Champs in Loveland, Colorado in July. Lots of JRDA happening, and you are watching Derby at the Roller Dome, home of Denver Roller Derby and Rocky Mountain Roller Derby. Officiating this game, we've got on skates Arson, Sassy, Smash Cotton, Primeval, Cookies, Ginger, Spice, and Just Scott. Non-skating officials are Montana Muller, Ultraviolent Blue, Gave Reckoning, A Infinitum, Zookeeper, Chameleon, Michael, Dr. Wheelgood, and Razmataz. All right, first jam is live. We do have Spider Slam picking up that first lead jammer status for Denver. Minor Turbulence, Fast Phantom with the star for Wasatch. They are still working on that initial pass. Spider Slam stepping over Echo to get out of there. Fast Phantom, again, still working on this initial as Spider Slam continues to score. 12 points already in jam number 1. Okay, Spider Slam, we do see the call-off happening. Pivot Poisonimi holding on to that pivot line as the Jammers line up on the Skate Rats jam line. Jam number 2 is live after a killer 19-point jam in the first jam. We do have a new lead jammer. That is Barracuda for Denver. Quiet killer with the star for Wasatch. And we're gonna see a direction call on number 47 for Denver. That is Tricks. Four points go up for Wasatch, first of the game. Barracuda going to go for a few more points on that last pass, catching 3 of those, bringing your score up 26-4. We did see Major Turbulence win over Wasatch's A team. Now we'll have to see if the B teams will give us a similar result or if there are any changes. Skate Rats jam line. Full of blockers and jammers. Maybe we see a little track maintenance happening. We do have a short official timeout. Let us talk about our sponsor, Skate Rats, our jam line sponsor. They are located in downtown Loveland, Colorado. You can check them out on skaterats.com, SK8RATZ.com. They have a wide variety of products from custom skates to safety gear to skateboards and clothing. With over 10 years of experience, the Skate Rats staff is friendly and knowledgeable in helping you find or build whatever you may need. They do online orders, of course, and speedy shipping services to anywhere worldwide. Visit their retail store in Loveland for a smooth and enjoyable shopping experience. SkateRats.com. All right. Welcome those watching in the chat. Another lead jammer. That does go to Waffles, who had a very good game yesterday. Waffles with Denver. We've had a star pass to Bad Cop from Wasatch. With some nice spin moves on the inside line. Waffles coming through, though, on a scoring pass. Smash. Bad Cop close behind, forcing that call off, taking that star pass from Smash and Dash. All right, we got a lot of crowd noise, got a lot of family in from Denver and Wasatch. And of course, the A teams are cheering on their friends on the B teams. Starface with the star for Denver, Mullet for Wasatch. It is going to be Starface with the lead jammer status, but Mullet right behind. Jammers are racing, hoping. Mullet right through on the inside line. Starface calls the jam, however, only gets 1 point. Mullet does pick up 4. So we did see Mullet jamming and blocking for the A team already this weekend. All right. Official timeout. Let's go ahead and talk about our penalty box sponsor. That is Mile Hybrid Automotive. They are a proud penalty box sponsor for Colorado Chaos. Mile Hybrid is Denver's only exclusive hybrid electric and EV auto repair shop. Visit them at milehybridauto.com to learn about the incredible staff of this family-owned business and schedule your own service or repair. We have an official timeout. Stuff is happening. Okay. Apparently, there was a skater crossed off the roster during the captain's coaches meeting who was on the bench and playing, so that skater does have to be removed from play. Yep, that's the rules. You can have, up to 20 players on your charter, but of course on game day you're only allowed 15 and 2 alts just in case something happens before the game. And if you mark out those players, then you don't get to have them. Them's the rules. So we will shortly return to play. Go ahead and get these ad reads out of the way while we're hanging out here. Monarch Animal Health Center offers low-cost and accessible spay-neuter surgeries, vaccines, and dentals to support the health of pets in our community. Monarch also proudly supports Denver Junior Roller Derby, a sport where no balls are required. Visit monarchanimal.com to learn more about our services and schedule an appointment. And of course, the Qdoba Gives campaign is happening today. If you are local in Denver, there's a Qdoba very close to the Roller Dome. That is the correct location. Join us at Qdoba this Sunday after the tournament. Show them the Qdoba flyer in the program or use the QR code to order, and Denver Junior Roller Derby will receive 25% of those profits Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, we got ourselves a new jam and a new lead jammer. That is Full Tilt for Denver Roller Derby. Fast Phantom completing the initial as Autumn heads to the box for a cut track call. Denver down a blocker. Full Tilt hit out by Zen. Recycles and decides to call off the jam. Spider Slam on the Skate Ratch jam line with Quiet Killer. Spider Slam blistering first jam for Denver. Let us see if she will repeat this. She does get that lead jammer status. Forearm on a Denver blocker, and that is Quiet Killer out of the pack on the initial. They're okay? Okay. They are going to stay. Okay. And then you guys were just standing in the frame before, so you're good here, but when you're out there, like Matt's in the frame, yeah. Sorry guys, just a little stuff here. I was telling everybody, yeah, you guys are actually standing in the frame. I would like to see what's happening in turn one, but here we go. We did have Barracuda pick up lead in that jam and maybe get a few points there for Denver. Yes. All four there, 42-12. Yeah, he's standing in the frame. Much as we enjoy our head officials, we know you guys are here to watch that roller derby. So here we go. We got ourselves a lead jammer. This is jam number 8, Waffles with the lead for Denver. Mullet jamming for Wasatch. Got a big cheering section for Minor Turbulence. So Starface on that Skate Rats jam line with Fast Phantom. Oof. See a destruction call on Sleepy Pumpkin, and lead jammer gained by Starface. Losing Roller Reina to the box as well. Starface coming through on a scoring pass. Fast Phantom still working on this initial. A little bit of friendly fire, and oh, it almost works, but again, recycled back by Beholder. Never gets to complete that initial. 2 of the Wasatch blockers are stuck in that box. Full tilt on the line once again for Denver. Smash and dash for Wasatch. Lead jammer is full tilt, but smash and dash is out. Done with the initial. Coming back around for a scoring pass. Teams lining up on that far straightaway. Full tilt getting all 4 points with some swervy moves. And calling the jam before Wasatch may score. So 52 up, 52-12, 40-point game already. We are 20 minutes in, just over 20 minutes left in this first half. Do I know which skater, Ice Bear? Which skater what? Just saw your comment. Thank you for joining us on the Twitch chat. Tell me soon, I have Jamnesia. Here we go, Spider Slam on the line for Denver. Quiet Killer jamming for Wasatch. That is going to be Spider Slam with that lead jammer status. Wasatch thinking about offense. You see number 2 looking Echo maybe to play some offense, but definitely watching and maintaining that pack. The pivot is Mockingbird. Okay, a misconduct. SS 277 for Denver. Jam will come to an end after a star pass forces the call off. Ginger Spice, one of the OPRs, waving to the camera. Here we go, Barracuda jamming for Denver. Mullet for Wasatch. We're seeing some penalties to see a direction on the Wasatch pivot, but that is Mullet with the lead jammer for Wasatch. Barracuda with the fancy spin moves. And a nice little side surf out to get lead. Mullet running through. Oh, Barracuda passes 2. I think yep, Mullet gets 2. Barracuda is going to get all 4, including a not on the track point. Oh, that was not rostered and pulled. Yeah, they ended up saying that they will get to skate They said they marked out the wrong skater. One of the others was actually not there, and it's one line above or below, and they just missed it. So the other team said it was okay, and they will stay on the track. We got ourselves a new lead jammer, Waffles, for Denver. Fast Phantom again working on the initial. Big hit by Axel Rolls, takes the fall. Fast Phantom still working out here. Got this pack moving, but maybe, is going to get a little offense. Seeing a lot of very situational offense, maybe like, I'm going through, let me hold this person for a second. Maybe that'll help the jammer. And again, Waffles, another scoring pass, is going to pick up 4 points there. Maybe that first pass, maybe there was a nowhere in pass. That's why we're at 7 instead of 8. Denver now sitting on 71. 14 so far for Wasatch, so Denver definitely dominant. Minor Turbulence is the B team, but they are no slouches. It's a very good program. And now we see Beholder heading to the box. Waffle still with that lead. Gonna go ahead and call it. Leaving Beholder in the box with a low block. That's the pivot. I don't know which skater. I couldn't quite hear the numbers they were telling me. Could be a fun puzzle to figure out. Wasatch taking the top of the pack this time. Everybody's lining up in the middle between the skate ratch jam line and the pivot line. And this leaves some space on the outside for Bad Cop to get lead jammer status for Wasatch. So Bad Cop we've seen wearing the pivot, we've seen blocking, and I think this might be the first time I've seen Bad Cop with the actual star on first. We are going to see another multiplayer call on a Denver blocker, and Wasatch pivot in the box. I'm not sure who got what. I'll talk about penalties later. 4 points on the board for Bad Cop. Starface is out of the pack. This was the initial, so now it's a scoring pass. Bad Cop gonna call this and hold Denver scoreless for at least this jam. So 0 points on that pass for Denver, and then 2 points at the end for Wasatch. 6-0 jam, 77-20, 14:50 on the clock. Okay, here we go. Let us see. We got ourselves a lead jammer that is full tilt, smash and dash. I think this might be the third time I've seen them out together. And forearm on Mullet as a blocker. Big hit to smash and dash by Penny Lane, who's still working her way through. Direction. Who's getting it? That's the question. So it looked like we might have had a star pass, however, not sure if it was a legal star pass. Smash and Dashers put the star back on, full tilt back again for 4 more points, 16-point jam so far. Jam comes to an end. 20-0 jam for Denver Roller Derby. Phoenix on the skate ratch jam line for Denver. Again, Denver in blue, Wasatch in white. Quiet Killer. Denver pack hanging out at the pivot line, although I see a blocker there ready to play offense as the game starts. Wasatch right there on that skate ratch jam line, ready to catch Phoenix. But she does make her own space. Picks up that lead jammer. Quiet Killer still working on the initial, but we are losing Roller Reina to the box for a direction. It's a nice reform. And yep, still doesn't save you from that destruction call. Poison Amy. And a back block on Phoenix as the jammer. So power jam Wasatch. A forearm on Zen for Wasatch. No pivot, so again, Quiet Killer, I think this was still their initial. Does get out. This will be a 2-minute jam. We've got just over a minute left in this jam, and almost a full penalty kill because here we go. Quiet Killer picks up 4 just as Phoenix is released from the box. Big hit into that pack, but gets knocked to the inside, has to recycle. Quiet Killer trying to punch through, takes a spill. Phoenix finds room on the outside line. Quiet Killer, again, working on this the second pass as Phoenix comes through once again, just barrels on through that pack. 12 points so far in this jam. Defense hanging on hard to Quiet Killer despite offense from Roller Reina. All 4 Wasatch defenders now on the Denver jammer as the jam comes to its natural end of life. Team timeout for Wasatch. On that last pass, it looks like they did pick up 4 more points. Let's see what the scoreboard does. We got one more game after this. It will be the Rockin' City Rockstars, their A team, versus Denver Junior Roller Derby Major Turbulence. And that will be we're in the next to last game of Colorado Chaos. And that is the end of that team timeout. Neither of these teams have been really using all their timeouts. Denver usually calls at least 1. Wasatch hasn't asked for too many themselves. And that's 5 seconds. You heard the lady. Jam is live, Barracuda and Fast Phantom. Fast Phantom hasn't been having the easiest time getting out of these packs. That is Barracuda taking that lead status. Fast Phantom with the star in hand looking for their pivot. That is 1111 Malice in Wonderland. We will see if they can pass that star. No, doesn't need to. So the jammer is Fast Phantom 1-1 and the pivot was Malice in Wonderland 1111. Denver will call this off and hold Wasatch scoreless. Killer Bia on the line for Denver. Mullet putting on the star once again for Wasatch. Denver blockers. You see we have 6'6" and 6'6" out there, Poison Amy and Waffles, so everybody's got to really pay attention to those penalty calls. All right. Oh, lead jammer status with a little flare at the end there for Mullet. 6'6" Poison Amy heading to the box for Denver on a scoring pass. Mullet on another pass. 4 points so far for him. Skating. I didn't even hear that whistle. I'll have to look at the penalties. So Mullet in the box, losing lead. Yep, multiplayer block on Stormy C, who already has, played a game today. We did see her jamming and blocking in the Wasatch A game earlier. Mullet through for another 4 points. Here we are. Killer Bia going to the box. Power jam Wasatch. Mullet coming in for a hard hit. Legal, but hard. Nice. 4 more points for Wasatch here. Highest scoring jam for Wasatch so far of this game. All right, another 4 for Mullet. Killer Bia released from the box. Jam will come to an end. Big jam for Wasatch. A lot of skaters taking a fall here in this jam. 16-point jam for Wasatch here, 117-44. 7 minutes left in this first half. Wasatch with a blocker in the box, so Denver starting with the pack advantage. Autumn jamming for Denver, does pick up that lead status. Quiet Killer jamming, hoping for room on the outside line, but I think everybody better know better at this point of the weekend. The outside line, especially in turn 1, is not safe. 4 points up for Denver. Again, Quiet Killer knocked out by Beholder. They have definitely been a powerful defensive force in this game. But we have a star pass to Mockingbird. So now on a scoring pass, we will see if, Autumn calls it. Full tilt sent out to the Skate Ratch Jam line along with Chemical X. Jam is live. Mullet with the offense on the outside line. Lead jammer, Chemical X. Full tilt done with the initial as Chemical X works on this scoring pass. Mullet maybe giving up the point at the end. Nope, all right, it's a little too late. That's lucky. Chemical X picking up 2. .445 on the clock in this first half. 127-46, Denver in the lead. This Spider Slam sent out for Denver. Smash and dash for Wasatch. And that is a very quick lead up the inside line for Spider Slam. A multiplayer block on Beholder. Smash and dash finds a way through on the outside line, running up back up that middle. Spider Slam knocked down on that inside line there. Gonna call it off. Again, leaving 2 Denver blockers in the box. Choices. So 2 Denver defenders. Wasatch with all 4. Timeout. Official timeout. Oh, it looks like late call for a Wasatch blocker. All right, we have ourselves a new lead jammer. That is number 462 Barracuda for Denver Roller Derby. Bad Cop for Wasatch. A very fast jam, leaving those same two Denver blockers in the box. That is Penny Lane and Beholder. Those 2 often go together in a pair to the box, so at least it's nice to have a friend. Stormy C sitting in the box with a low block. Malice in Wonderland now sent out with the star for Wasatch. Waffles for Denver. Waffles very tenacious. This is the first I've seen Malice in Wonderland this weekend, so let's see. And that is almost, not quite. We will see Waffles take that lead jammer status. Malice still working on the initial, knocked out by Denver Pivot. Denver Pivot Spider Slam, who's mostly been jamming this game, but now has been sent out to Pivot. Waffles coming in hot on this scoring pass. Zen has been past the star, so Wasatch now has Zen as the jammer of record. Waffles have already picked up 8 points, looking for some more. Looks like Zen had the star in hand and has dropped it. Denver definitely not making it easy to pick up that star. Waffles again looking for another scoring pass. Has already scored 12 so far. Zen with the star, trying to put it on, but wants to get out of this pack. Everybody's hanging out in turn 3, right in front of that Denver bench. All right, Zen is free. Making sure that star is firmly on the helmet. And the jam will be called there after another 20 points. 150 points for Denver now, 46 for Wasatch. 1 minute left in this half. Official review called by Wasatch. Well. Got this nice screen here. Points per jam. So Denver definitely putting up points here. 19-point jam in the first jam. They've had a 20-point jam, 2 20-point jams. So tie for the highest scoring jam of the game so far. Wasatch has had that beautiful 16-point jam not too long ago. But again, the story here is who's getting lead, who's losing lead. Denver absolutely dominant. 1, 2, 3, 11 lead jams in a row at the beginning of the game. Wasatch still able to score on a few of these. Denver only didn't complete the initial on that second jam, but again, when they can, they're taking these multi-pass jams, and they're not really giving up too many points when they do it, if any. Only 5 leads so far for Wasatch. One of those was lost to a penalty, but again, a nice that was their highest scoring jam. That's 16 points. So more time on the track equals more points. This is the way. This is the way. Welcome viewers in the chat. Thank you for joining us on the Denver Roller Derby Twitch channel. Thank you for joining us. I see TW Lego Batman. I do enjoy Lego Batman. It's the best. Will Arnetta's Batman is gold. Anyway, you are watching Denver Roller Derby Twitch channel with me, Chai Kilski. You're watching Denver Junior Roller Derby host these lovely teams from Washington, Utah, and Texas. This tournament is known as Colorado Chaos. It's the second time they've done it, second annual, so that's something they want to repeat every year. So nobody really in any trouble on these penalty boards. We see a couple of folks with the same penalties. Nobody on more than 2. Lots of people playing really nice and cleanly, including Spider Slam, Full Tilt, and Starface, who have been taking turns jamming. I saw Waffles just get 1. And if you're in Denver, Colorado, I just heard the thunder through these headphones. That's kind of wild. Again, not too many penalties here. Hello.
Hi. Wasatch was requesting an illegal procedure penalty on the Denver blockers for impeding the jammer from picking up the star.
Ooh.
No call to stand. No return official.
Okay, yeah. Nobody was standing on it. Yeah. So it looks like Wasatch did want an illegal procedure assessed to some of these Denver blockers for impeding their player from picking up the star. However, the rule is that you can't be actively standing on it or holding it in some way and actually really keeping it. So there's an argument that nothing was really stopping Mullet from reaching down, or Zen from reaching down and grabbing it. So the no call will stand. Nobody's going to go to the box for that. It was worth a shot, but again, those ORs you have to really prevent. So standing over the star is not the obstacle that Wasatch was arguing that maybe it was. So here we are back on jam number 24 in the first half. We've got 35 seconds left on this clock. Starface sent out to jam for Denver. Fast Phantom for Wasatch. And that will be Starface with the lead jammer status. Fast Phantom, regular jamming for this team, but has not had, unfortunately, a lot of success getting even past the initial. Starface is through. Yep, Starface is through. Fast Phantom still working on it. It does look like that is Mullet wearing the star. Denver determined not to let Fast Phantom out. Period clock has expired. We are seeing a forearm call on the Denver pivots. And Starface calls the jam. Folks, that is halftime. We will have a short 15-minute break, then I will come back and talk to you all about penalties and the rest of this game. See you in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. Just a few seconds to go. It started pouring outside. So we had to close the big door. It's going to get a lot louder in here. You're watching the second half of Game 3, Denver Roller Derby Minor Turbulence versus Wasatch Junior Rollers BSalty. My name is Chai Kilski. Thank you for joining us on the Denver Roller Derby Twitch channel. We're going to get this second half started very shortly. Looks like maybe Snarkomedes has replaced Blue as the GM timer. In case you are mindful of officiating things. So gold like Barracuda's from Lego Batman in the first half. Yeah, Barracuda's jamming is pretty impressive. Aspirational. But here we are. We've got one Denver pivot in the box. Otherwise, the box is clear. We've got two jammers. That is full tilt for Denver. Quiet Killer for Wasatch. We have, wow, okay, a star pass to Zen. So Wasatch cannot get lead. They did try this earlier today. Wasatch cannot get lead, but is on a scoring pass with the lead jammer behind them. So Denver's got to decide if they will be calling that jam, not allowing Zen to score, but also not scoring themselves. Got myself a nice cup of tea. Earl Grey, hot. To get us through the rest of this game. We got one more game after this, folks. This is going to be full day of Derby. All right, that is going to be Mullet with the lead jammer status for Wasatch. But Spider Slam out not too far behind and definitely will be catching up. Mullet hoping to get some points. Nice hitting that pack hard. I think is going to get all 4. Nope, just 3 on that pass. So 0 for Denver, but 3 for Wasatch. Coming up into jam number 3. We've got a false start. That means the blocker needs to yield and then can keep going. We have our lead jammer, that is Barracuda. I hear a low block call happening. That is Denver's pivot in the box beholder. Pack moving fast into turn 4. Barracuda moving even faster. A hit and a call off. So Barracuda does pick up points there. Looks like Prime and Arson discussing the cut metrics. The track cut metrics. We will have a official timeout. Interesting. Yes, I think that means the Denver jammer may go to the box with a track cut. So if you get knocked out of bounds and you kind of spin all the way back inbounds, you have to at least show that you're yielding before you call off the jam. So that's definitely what happened here. Killer Bia will go, no, Barracuda will go to the box as the jammer. Yeah, if you're out of bounds, I mean, you can call it off, but you have to show, if you've gone back in, you have to at least make that yield motion. Oh, no, Blue's back here as the jam timer as well. You have to make that yield motion before you can call off the jam. Otherwise, you've bettered your position. All right, here we go. Bad Cop picking up lead jammer status on this power jam for Wasatch. Four on the board for Bad Cop. Everyone else in the pack, you see Stormy Sea, Chemical X, Sleepy Pumpkin, and Echo for Wasatch. Barracuda back on the track. Gonna have to do the initial. Yep, that's the initial for Denver done. That will now be a scoring pass for Barracuda. Bad Cop through for more for Wasatch and calls the jam before Barracuda can score. So 8-0 jam in favor of Wasatch. 162-57, 26 minutes in this next to last game of your Colorado Chaos weekend. We got Mullet wearing the stripe for Wasatch. Denver blocker friend covering their pivot's number. We've got a no-pack situation. There was I don't know if we're going to see any penalties for failure to reform, but it seems to have reformed quickly enough. We do have a lead jammer, that is Waffles. Quite killer again, working on this initial once through, but Waffles knocked out by Feeling Feisty. They chose not to do a big recycle. That's fair. Waffles is pretty fast. Pack moving into the far straightaway. Quite killer now taking the star off and looking for their pivot. That is Mullet. Mullet has taken the star, so star pass completed. Waffles continuing to score. We've had 4 points so far. Which is a 4-0 jam. Both teams still have a lot of time stoppages left. Denver has all 3. Wasatch has only used 1 team timeout. Wasatch used their OR in the first half. They lost it. No one else has used an OR in this game. The perennial, one more from the bench, one more. Okay, big hit by Zen with the star this time. Starface jamming for Denver, picks up that lead status. Zen coming back in. Starface still working in this far straightaway. Both jammers, getting a little recycled, getting by. We are going to see 4 points picked up by Starface here, none for Zen. Full tilt on the skate ratch jam line. Well, far behind the skate ratch jam line with Fast Phantom. Maybe they're comparing notes for jam starts. Here we go. Wow, right up the outside line. That is full tilt. Your lead jammer for Denver. Fast Phantom still working on this initial full tilt through for 4. Good footwork, good speed. Mullet with the stripe. Yeah, a cut track call, unfortunately, on Fast Phantom. Power jam Denver. You got to watch the hips of those opposing players. You got to get in behind them. Another 4 points on the board for full tilt. A power jam for Denver. Setting up in the turn. Wasatch not really letting them do it. Moving forward just enough to keep the pack going. Full tilt, yep, finding the way through on the inside line. A nice positional offense by Penny Lane there at the back. Penny Lane and Beholder always in the same pack together. Hearing those call-offs from those turn 3 coaches. Another multi-pass jam, 15 points picked up by Denver, 189-57. Box is now cleared. A lot of pivot line starts, a lot of mid starts, not a lot of jam line starts, skate ratch jam line starts. We've got Spider Slam for Denver up against Chemical X. Not jamming too often, but when they do, not too shabby. Here we go, lead jammer status, Chemical X for Wasatch. Spider Slam still working on this initial, trying to keep it nice and clean. Makes it through on one skate, on one foot. Chemical X takes a big spill. We hear the call off. We'll see if any points are gotten. Nope, 0-0 jam. Thank you for joining us on the Denver Roller Derby Twitch channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have Amazon Prime, you do get a free Twitch sub. Otherwise, I believe it is either $6 or $7.99. Nothing crazy. Again, cheapest pay-per-view. You get to watch a bunch of great roller derby. All weekend long, and here we are, a newly jammer Barracuda. Quiet Killer. And it's a cut track call for Quiet Killer, another power jam for Denver. So, you know, we want to see this Wasatch defense really buckle down on this. They've got the skills. You know, Denver's very good, but Wasatch also has the skills. They can definitely avoid some of this offense that's happening, or at least maybe send a few back to catch that jammer. It is hard to play offense from the top of the pack, even though you do risk a bit giving up your points. Denver blocker heading to the box as Quiet Killer is released. That is Penny Lane with a cut track call as a blocker. And a direction call on Mullets. Barracuda 3 for 4. 16-point jam so unanswered, absolutely. We're seeing offense happening, but don't forget there's another jammer coming through. You've got to keep an eye. Zen holding down that tripod, but again, straight through the seam and through the arms. Barracuda, 4 more points. A destruction call on Denver blocker. Quiet Killer done with this jam, not sure. Yeah, I don't think any points were gotten here. 28-point jam, massive jam for Denver. 2:17 to 57, 18:27 on this period clock. Axel Rolls lining up with the star. We've seen Axel jamming, but I think maybe this is the first time for this game, starting as that jammer. Fast Phantom getting that lead jammer status. I think the first lead Fast Phantom has had in this game, so congrats, Fast Phantom. Axel Rolls still working on the initial, getting knocked out and recycled back behind Mullet. Fast Phantom coming back in, not taking any chances with a cut track call. Trying to take that inside line, but again, a little held up by their own team. Denver ready to catch again on this outside line. They're staying very close. Hey, nice offense by Autumn coming back from the box. It makes just enough space for Axel Rolls to get out. Done with the initial. Fast Phantom has scored 4 points. Fast Phantom finally gets that signal to call off the jam. 4 points had by Wasatch, 2:17:61, just in case you can't see the overlay on the screen up there. Jam number, coming up to jam number 11 in the second half of this Minor Turbulence versus BSalty game. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we saw that one. That is going to be a back block, unfortunately, on Zen. A power jam for Denver. So Zen has not completed the initial. We'll still have to do that when he comes back from the box. And that is going to be Waffles with your lead jammer status for Denver. You see our jam refs are Primeval and Arson. .4 points for Waffles. Waffles, no reason to end this jam, even though Zen is coming back. Zen still has to complete the initial pass. And again, nice footwork from Waffles, seeing those spaces, going for it. Very confident with the juke. Waffles with the star in hand, looking for that pivot. Pivot's not necessarily looking at Zen. or at least not enough to maybe even take that star. But again, Zen finds the way through on the outside line, does complete the initial. Waffles, no more incentive to keep running that one, calls that jam off after picking up 4 more points for Denver. That is going to be a, I believe, 16-point jam. No, 12 points, all right. Phoenix on the skate ratch jam line, up with Quiet Killer. Wasatch sending out Mullet, Feisty, Chemical X, and Mockingbird to block. So Phoenix has been a very strong jammer for Denver this weekend. Very strong pusher, can definitely push a team out of play if needed, but always down to take that offense. You can tell Denver practices these plays. They practice talking with their jammers, and it definitely works. So again, number 47 now playing a little offense tricks for Denver, but it is going to be Quiet Killer this time who picks up that lead jammer status as Phoenix is knocked back to the outside, coming back in behind Mullet, but perhaps going to get some more help from Tricks to keep at least one blocker away. Quiet Killer looking for the way through on the outside, knocked out with assistance by Killer Via. And that jam is going to come to an end. We're going to see 3 points thrown up there for Wasatch. 1 Wasatch blocker sitting in the box. Okay, right up the outside line. That is going to be your lead jammer Starface for Denver. Minor Turbulence. We're going to see a forearm call on Autumn and a cut track call on Echo, the Wasatch pivot. Fast Phantom back out here for Wasatch. Trying to get through this Denver tripod and keep them separated. But again, all these blockers are very good individual blockers as well. So once you get past one, there's no guarantee. Looks like Stitch and Full Tilt now in as a blocker, holding things down. Beholder as well, wearing the stripe. Autumn released from the box, immediately goes to play some offense for the jammer. But, illegal contact. Autumn heading straight back to the box. Hope it was worth it. So Fast Phantom out of the pack, has taken the star off, but puts it back on. We see Starface does have lead, so can call it. And let's see if Fast Phantom can get in there. Nope. There's going to be no points on that pass or in that jam for Wasatch. A couple more picked up by Denver. 12-0 jam, 241 to 64. Little Wasatch cheer from the crowd. They've come all the way from Salt Lake City. It's about an 8-hour drive. Not quite as the crow flies, but scenic. Denver realizing they have a blocker standing in the box. Denver tripod deciding they were going to go in the front, and they're going to hang on to Stormy C as long as they can. Hopefully giving Barracuda a chance to get out. Again, Barracuda recycled back behind Mullet. Choosing these long run backs on these Denver jammers I don't feel is the wisest strategy, but sometimes you just do what you train to do, and that's what happens. We do have a lead jammer. That is Barracuda. Stormy C with the star in hand, looking for the pivot. That is Mullet with the pivot. And now Mullet with the star. Done with the initial. Nice try there on the outside line. Yeah, that is a no-earn pass. So while Axel Rolls is out of the pack and now on a scoring pass, they will not get lead. Unfortunately, Snarky Shark, who's been sent out as the jammer first time, can also not get lead. That's not allowed. A star pass trying to have a toss. That is not a legal star pass. So maybe Snarky is new to the legal star pass situation. Bad Cop with the star in hand legally this time. We will have a 2-minute jam. This is going to be the defense game, folks, unless they just decide to run for the next minute and 15. Choices, choices. Come on, guys, don't do that to your OPRs. That's not nice. Going so fast, they have to drop the top OPR to meet the pack in the back. All right, here we go. That is going to be 4 points for Bad Cop. Finds the way through on the outside line. Axel Rolls also on a scoring pass. There will be no calling off. Each jammer has scored 4 points by now. Bad Cop right around the outside line. Passes Stitch. At least going to get that 1 point. We will see a forearm on Stitch. 4 points picked up by Wasatch. Everybody's reforming over there in turn 3, heading into turn 4 as Bad Cop comes through for another scoring pass, ready to get another hit in, but the jam does come to a natural end. 4 points picked up at the end by Denver. I'm sorry, I thought the jam reps were Arson and Prime. It's not, it is Smash and Prime. Arson is the IPR. You see Sassy is the front APR. Ginger Cookies and Scott. Ginger Scott Cookies as the OPRs. Killer Bia with the star, getting some help from Stitch. Again, stuck on this pack. I see Mullet over there, feeling feisty. And we do have no lead jammer yet. Quiet Killer out of the pack. Killer Bia. Okay, so Quiet Killer is actually the lead jammer. Just kidding. JK. But getting the call off as the Denver jammer is coming up quickly behind. Some confusion there. Fast Phantom starting as the pivot this time. Beholder with the pivot for Denver. Jammers back on the Skate Ratch jam line. Blockers are all hanging out in that pivot line. Pack is all clumped up, leaving lane 4 wide open. And there we go. That is Autumn with the lead jammer status for Denver. Echo jamming for Wasatch. There you see a no pack call. Anybody move to reform? Yeah, here we go. Reformed nicely. Oof. Big spill for Echo there. Autumn almost through, but steps 1 foot out of bounds, has to recycle. Yep, and that is going to be a cut. She did not see Stormy C back there. So cut track on Denver Jammer. Power Jam Wasatch. Echo is not through, also getting a cut track call. So we're gonna have a little jammer switcheroo. As soon as Echo sits, Autumn will stand and be released. Jam ends. We have a little official timeout. So, I do believe we may have had a foul out. Let's have a look. Yep. So Autumn went to the box as the jammer. That was the 7th penalty. She will foul out and be replaced with another Denver jammer. Wasatch not in too much trouble here. This is Echo's first penalty of the game. Tricks being sent in to jam in Autumn's stead. And the next jam will be up momentarily. So, Tricks will be released as you do. And then Echo will serve the time served by Denver jammer and also be released. So a short power jam for Denver, but a power jam nonetheless. And that will be lead jammer for Tricks. Whoa, ooh. Echo taking a spill there. Star in hand, definitely looking for the pivot to cast the star. The pivot is number 142 Mockingbird. Tricks through for 4 points. Blockers hanging out in the far straightaway. Almost out of play there, but Denver gets wise to this. The pack was in the front. Black Diamond anchoring the Denver tripod. We've had a star pass. That is Mockingbird now with the star for Wasatch. Trick's going to go ahead and call this jam as a blocker from each team heads to the box. Just under 3.5 minutes left in this 4th game today. We'll have one more game today. That will be the Raccoon City Rock Stars, their A team, versus the Denver Juniors Major Turbulence, Denver's A team. I wonder if we are going to get a delay of game penalty for fielding too many blockers. I do wonder. Big thank you to all of our officials, volunteers, announcers, camera operators, medics. Thank you so much for being a part of this tournament and helping to make it happen. We appreciate you. Officials are conferring. And of course, thank you to our wonderful Jamline sponsor, Skate Rats. They are always helpful to pretty much every league in Colorado. They definitely keep us rolling, absolutely. Based in Loveland, Colorado, where JRDA Champs will be held later this year in July. Of course, all those juniors playoffs will be happening in June. Denver Roller Derby juniors will be heading to Rome, Georgia for their playoffs. So if you are watching, that's where they will be. And all things being equal, if they do well there, they will be able to play at Champs basically at home. I'm going to see if I can find out what everybody's talking about. Let me unmute myself. There's always a discussion around contact with officials, and because officials generally are not wearing mouth guards or they're not skating, and it is not safe. So it's always important for skaters to learn to be safe, especially around officials. And, obviously in the middle of a game, your jam ref is standing right there. IPRs, OPRs are right there. Sometimes it's unavoidable. And there's the metric for, was this on purpose contact? Could you have avoided this? Could you have fallen and not hit this official or mitigated this in some way? And the answer is always maybe very situational, yes, who knows? So I think that's what they were discussing in this last one. We did see a skater returning from the box clip an official and fall. The official did not fall, but that's what the discussion was about, whether or not they should eject that skater. Because you can be ejected for making that kind of contact with officials. We did see that lead jammer status called on Mullet. However, Phoenix also very quickly out of the pack. Phoenix trying at the end for some points, but I think that was too late. Yeah, 0 points held up for Phoenix, and Mullet does pick up 4 points for Wasatch to 65-79. Denver decidedly in the lead. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left in this game. Here we are, Poisonimi up with Mockingbird. It will be Mockingbird picking up that lead jammer status for Wasatch. Poisonimi not really wearing the star much this weekend, but definitely wearing the star right now. Mockingbird back in the pack on a scoring pass here in turn 1. Finds a way through, gets 4, and Poisonimi still on the initial, so definitely, I would say Mockingbird should definitely run this jam as long as she can feel success. Poisonimi is through with the initial. Mockingbird wants these points, but hey, so does Poisonimi. There she goes. We are going to see a direction call to the Denver pivot. Mockingbird gets 4 points, does give up to Denver, but they do keep that positive point differential. 8-4 jams, 269, 87, 103 on the clock. We will have at least one more jam, maybe 2, depending on how quickly these jams go. All right, here we go, lead jammer. That is Mullet, your lead jammer. We are going to see a back block assessed to Spider Slam. So power jam Wasatch. 25 seconds left on this period clock, 140 on the jam clock. Mullet through, nearly untouched. The Denver blocker, pivot, and jammer in the box. So Denver just with that one tripod out there, right by the skate ratch jam line. Mullet finding the way through on that inside line. Another 4 for Wasatch. Wasatch definitely rallying at the end of the game. Spider Slam back from the mild hybrid penalty box. 12 so far now for Wasatch. Perhaps they will get over 100 points. 55 seconds left on the jam clock. The period clock has expired. This game will not have another jam. Mullet knocked out, does pick up 1 more point. Denver gets 1. Wasatch hitting that century mark right at the end of the game. Denver definitely, Major Turbulence taking the win here. 270 to 100. Let us wait for that final whistle. Congratulations, Major Turbulence. Wasatch Junior Rollers, the Assault. No, BSalty, I'm sorry. Wasatch's B team, battle of the B teams. Wasatch won that last jam for sure, 13-1 jam. Congratulations, everybody. These two teams are done for the weekend. We got one more game coming up for you. Denver's Major Turbulence versus Rockin' City Junior Roller Derby Rock Stars. They're a team. All right, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you, Ice Bear. Thank you, Lego Batman. We got one more game coming up for you, and that will be it for the weekend. We will be right back.